I want it to be socially engaged memorial. I want to hear what other people have to say and what other people think should be part of the memorial. What happens when you go there? When I go to like a regular 9/11 memorial, my chest tightens up. I get really upset very quickly because there is one specific narrative being told, and it's always that one being told, and it hurts me. It hurts me because I know that there's more to the story, and not hearing those stories to me is like a way of continuously victimizing people who've been hurt, is not acknowledging what they've been through.
Supposed to be a woman who's like shrouded in cloth, and it's draped over her face to like hide her face and her identity. And then it's cloth to sort of mimic like wearing a headscarf. And we have some like holes ripped in it, so dual sort of interpretation. Some people see like she's like trying to sort of come like to step out of this like identity that is like the headscarf sort of identifies her. Some people saw it as wounds, as in like the being seen a certain way as like wounded her.
Museums, like memorials, like very Western, modern. So we wanted to go more Islamic. We also wanted more nature. That's why we have the water, and that should be grass. And the boat. Right?
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, we said no concrete, outdoors, in touch with nature, and we wanted the sound of water to be part of it.
Water fountains to be super high.
Yeah, we also thought about like centering a different time period to begin the like memorial from. So like Aya brought up how instead of starting with 9/11, we could start with like the 80s or like center maybe like different countries at the very beginning that all like kind of come into America. And this could potentially be like more of a walkway that people kind of like walk through a timeline with. And then
inside, like through inside.
Yeah, like through where the fountain is.
Yeah,
kind of like bridges into that. So and the boat takes you there. I just came up with that.
So I imagine like you would get some criticism as the architects for, going, for the Islamic architecture piece. So, what would you say to somebody if they said, well, this is a 9/11 memorial, what are you trying to say here?
Well, I would think of it as sort of like a reclamation. So like we could look to like the Hagia Sophia even as like an example of something that went through a transformation of something that was thought as like representing Christian heritage that was eventually modified to represent Islam and sort of represents like a tumultuous history.
So it's kind of like a 3-ish part situation. So first, there's going to be like a tunnel that people have. So this is like linear, like what people have to go through in
It's
the
like an
exhibit.
outdoor
It's an outdoor
memorial.
exhibition.
It's
Memorial.
like in a park type of thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
So we want to make it as public as possible so that everybody can access it. And so this will be like a tunnel, and in the tunnel will be like a small stream that like goes along the tunnel.
Tunnels. There's a theme about tunnels here.
And so in this tunnel, we want it to be a space for interfaith work or like stuff on exhibitions on the wall that honor like different religions and how they, I wrote here like exhibitions or commemoration or like ceremonial rituals so that everybody is like honored because this is a really like painful topic and like we want to make sure that's clear. And then after walking through the tunnel, they'll reach a forest, and on the trees of the forest will be these signs, and on the signs will be individual stories or the names of organizations that are doing work like JMC. It's not just like, okay, we feel all this pain and that's kind of it. It's like there's also like a radical optimism aspect of it.
We were just imagining having the stage be a space where different people can come in to do their art. Like people could do spoken word poetry, or maybe I was thinking like a play or something. And then community garden. I think we mentioned that we could grow things, like the people can just start growing things.
So we wanted like to have this space for commemoration, but like at the end leave on somewhat of like a note that something is happening, like something is progressing. So like maybe you can even take some things from that garden with you, or maybe if some people just need things as well.
So they come in from here, and it's like it's not like the more traditional, but it's sort of addressing the typical narrative of like a 9/11 memorial and like sort of turning that on its head and bringing people's awareness to like what it once was, and then people sort of move out of that. So they sort of have this whole experience. This is the U.S. government, this lizard. And then it moves out of there.
Oh my God.
but it's sort of a more built structure, which is like a metaphor for like structural amplify stuff.
Yes.
And then it's like a different colored path, and like along this path is along this path there will be like information and different memorials that people can like experience as they move along. And then from after seeing all of this, they move into like a healing space where they can like actually process everything that they've just seen. And there's a little fountain, like some pools, gardens, and then they can move from there.
Like we were talking about how a lot of memorials, or like a lot of museums, don't really show how we can move forward, right? Like what are the solutions that you can like take from this experience and like apply to your day-to-day life?
It's like more like a street where you can walk, so you don't have to pay to like go in, but it's more public, more open.
Honestly, I'm stunned at what you all came up with. This is amazing, and incredible food for thought for this.
And really, we were